Yes, I got to resend the link to him.
Ah, fuck it. Let's go live.
We're live. Fuck it.
You don't have to do it, everybody. Thank you for watching us on our new day and time. We're now coming to you live on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right now.
With me today is Lou, my co-host. Hey, Lou. Sir.
I'm here. I'm alive. Johnny Five is alive.
Before we just to tell you about our we have many guests on the show today, and many guests have not turned up yet. So they'll be popping in as they arrive,
hopefully. We don't have our shit together today.
No, we absolutely have it all together today.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I have a dilemma. And it's, of course, to do with the world and the political situation and the ideological situation and the hypocrisy and the things that don't make sense.
Wait, you're telling me there's hypocrisy in the world?
I'm not saying that there's hypocrisy in the world. I'm just saying that I see hypocrisy in the world.
Is there apostasy with that?
Look.
You made it.
You have a guest. Look at that. Hey, Micro.
Hello.
What up? It's like early for you this time.
It's 9 in the evening.
No, yeah, that's like
evening in what? Denmark, Norway, somewhere?
Denmark.
Yeah,
Denmark.
It always has to be like, yes, Denmark. Where the fuck is
present to you the face of Denmark,
which is a big green glob of goo.
Which is looks like an a brain in an old-fashioned radio with a baby's dummy sticking out of it.
No, it's Micro, and he's a big gob of goo with a brain.
Yeah, it's a flower goo with a brain in it.
Yeah.
And a pacifier.
It's like
and what are those beads? Are those like planets?
No, that's the eyes.
Oh,
little beady bird eyes.
All right.
And
all right. Micro, actually, what's going on in Denmark that we should know about in a secular sense?
Well, the only thing that's really going on right now is we'll have a general election coming up soon, and there has been actually a couple of new parties, but that's been created like recently. But one of them has it as a goal to get the separation of church and state. So they might not get into parliament, but that would be at least that's at least some kind of progress. Right now, I think we have one or two in there who wants the separation, but yeah, they aren't the biggest parties, so they can't. And it's not really high on their list, so it's not going to happen anytime soon, sadly.
You're on a list.
What's this list?
It's not on their list. It's not on their to-do list. I think it is, but it's far down. It's not something they discuss often.
Not a high priority topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like America and infrastructure. Infrastructure is not a sexy subject.
No, but it's kind of necessary.
Yes, roads are important, and drinking water and electricity is all important, but no one really gives a fuck about talking about it. Oh, guess what? I just want to throw a tidbit out there, a little teaser, and I won't tell you anything else, but the folder of doom is going to be terrible this weekend.
Oh, what the hell did you send him?
No, it's not what I sent. It's what somebody else has been looking up. It's, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I won't be there live this week. I'm going to a birthday party.
Oh, well, shit, you got a birthday party. That means drinking and weed and sex and stuff, right?
The first one.
Okay. The first one. And just for our audience of 3 or whatever it is, the Folder of Doom can only be found on Saturdays on AVPSO. So,
Well, unless you're Angus, I bet he watches it all the time just to prepare. Like, what going through it to looking for what is going to hurt the most.
it could be tentacle porn. It
Yes.
could be other disturbing Japanese stuff. It could be.
Blobby.
It could be a blobby. It could be combat fucking
Sheep.
sheep. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
I love the combat sheep.
Well, no, the Christmas special, the one where we were first introduced to him, is awesome. The show they're apparently a spin-off of, the Rotten Trolls thing. That I'm not sure what's going on there, really.
I don't know. But yeah, if you're an atheist and you like to see crazy bastards getting made fun of and participate in mocking crazy people, you know, you can always come here, but then you can also go Saturdays to AVPSO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What's AVPSO again?
oh,
A very public spanking off.
yeah. And after the show, I'll put cards on this, and there'll be thingies that you can click on. Nice, shiny, clickable links, people. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, I got something to bring up too.
Oh,
If I
right.
can,
we gotta.
if I
Yeah.
can present this. This is the kind of irony, or I don't know what the fuck you call this. Indonesia protests against beheading of domestic worker in Saudi Arabia. So what's happening is the Indonesian government is protesting the execution of one of its citizens in a foreign country. We have, I don't know if you've been following the news, but we also have a situation where Australia is protesting the impending execution of 2 of its citizens in Indonesia in the coming days and weeks. And Indonesia's having none of it. So, like, what the fuck?
Oh, ooh, can I open up this one?
Yeah.
Okay, for our American viewers of 3 or something like that. Okay, so this let me break this one down for you. The Indonesia Saudi Arabia thing about executing each other's fucking citizens for stupid shit is almost identical when America under Bush was going around the world saying, you know what, torture is bad, you really shouldn't do that.
Oh, that's so true.
Don't pay any attention to the people that we are forced rectally feeding right now and peeing on them and stuff. Don't worry about that. That's not torture.
Oh, that's just a couple of isolated incidents. Come on, you can't blame the whole U.S. Army for that one little incident.
No, we're a nation of 300 million plus people. It's okay if we degrade and murder a couple dozen innocent people. Not a big deal.
But it's not okay. But it's not government policy. It's not legislation. It's not legislation.
No, back then it was government policy. Just like these executions, they are publicly sanctioned, state-sanctioned, like punishments and shit.
Yeah.
It's okay until the media finds out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so okay until fucking Edward Snowden or somebody lays the smackdown on a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he kind of threw a little bit of a wrench into the works, didn't he?
And
Actually, does anybody kind of have a clue of how much damage he actually has caused? I don't.
he actually when he was talking with fucking what's the dude's name on HBO, the funny
John
dude,
Oliver?
huh?
John Oliver?
Yeah. Edward Snowden. He's like, yeah, I didn't want any of that stuff that did harm to happen. Like they act like damage. It damaged some spy operations, and it might have put a couple of U.S. spies like at risk of death.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, I did not intend that at all. That was actually a mistake by the newspaper.
Oh, blame it on the newspaper. Sure.
No, it was. They printed the shit that was supposed to be redacted, like names and stuff.
Yeah, but if it's redacted, they can't print it because it's redacted.
No, they were supposed to redact themselves because this was all leaked information.
Okay, well, then this is the shit rolling downhill syndrome.
No, but Snowden's terms for handing over the leaked documents he should not have had was that they would redact names and not put anybody in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually an accident because they didn't intentionally break the terms of the deal.
Okay, so the damage that Snowden did versus the damage that guy who's in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, I forget his name, Julian somebody.
Julian Assange?
Yeah, versus the damage that he did.
Those are two different stories, two different intents and purposes. Assange can potentially do a lot more damage because he's, I guess, a prick and just leaks, doesn't censor, self-censor, doesn't care who gets fucking muted or anything. Whereas Snowden actually has principle.
So what you're saying then is that Assange is a rapist.
No, he's just a immoral prick.
Rapist.
Not a rapist.
Do rapists have morals? Are rapists immoral pricks?
Well, from a personal point of view, I would say yes, but there's.
When you say immoral, do you mean unprincipled, unethical, perhaps?
Or fucking a sociopath.
I understand that, but when I hear the word immoral or moral, I get a different understanding of the word perhaps than what you mean. So I'm asking you, when you say moral, immoral, do you mean ethical, unethical, principled, unprincipled?
Yeah, it's
something like that.
Anything that does harm to innocent people is immoral if it's done intentionally.
Well, that's what I say. It's unethical.
Well, that's the same thing. Those are kind of
no, it's not the same thing.
Synonymous.
That's not really the same.
Just ethics encompasses more than physical harm, and what you got business practices and government policy and stuff all starts to go into that.
Actually, all you need is your favorite copy of Ethics 101 by John C. Maxwell. You'll be good. It's not very thick. You can read it in a couple of seconds.
Sorry, that's not shiny enough for me, and I got the attention span of a gnat lately.
Attention span of a gnat, that's about.
Can you condense that into a meme and possibly a 30-second YouTube video?
I could probably do better than that. Hey, Google it.
Come on, print is dead. Get with the new age here, man.
Print is not dead.
Can you put it on a bumper sticker?
Yes.
Well, you could just glue the book to the end of your truck.
He lives in Washington and not Mississippi. Come on.
Laminate it and glue it to your bumper.
Yeah.
That way, when you're like grocery shopping, like everybody else in the parking lot can read a book when they're passing by your car.
Have it turned on a new page. Have it turned on
Have an automatic page turner or something. a little hand pointer thing that follows along so you can read the words.
It's like or what you could do is like have a karaoke system that like just have like a screen on the back that sort of with it scrolling like karaoke text and a little ball.
Yeah. Oh, and if you want to be a super dork on this, you know how some cars you have the spoiler on the back? Yeah.
I know where you're going.
Well, you remove that spoiler and you go to a church and they have those like little mini pulpit thingies. They're because they're portable and they're like made out of wood. You can steal one of those mini pulpits and bolt that to your trunk, right? bolt it to the boot, and then you can mount any kind of book you want on there. And
well, now the thing is that's a great idea. However, stealing is unethical.
no, but it's stealing from a church, so you're stealing property. What you're really doing, since they're supposed to be giving to charity, just say you're helping them redistribute the wealth they have collected as per the goals in their mission statement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have a mission statement.
It's an act of my stealing their pulpit would be an act of God. Okay.
If it was a God, no. Assuming God exists, I agree with you. But considering the fact that God doesn't exist, you're stealing a pew from a pulpit or from the church is not an act of God.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Okay, everything in that church, including the church and everything, including all the people even, all belong to Jesus. So...
And he's dead, and you can't steal and it's not illegal to steal from dead people.
Right, and I've already asked Jesus, and I guarantee you, I will swear on the Bible that Jesus gave me permission to take that pulpit. And this is America, and...
All right, touch the Bible. Touch the Bible. There you go, okay.
Or whatever holy book you want to throw out.
I don't know. I just grabbed the first one. I got
right. Any holy book will do for these things.
Yeah.
Well, we know Jesus will forgive you. So.
Okay. Now, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got another ethical issue.
Oh no.
Jesus is a mythical entity. Okay. So referring to a mythic, I'd rather refer to someone that we know actually lived. So that we can get some depth and some empathy into the story.
Some empathy. Are you trying to say?
Yeah, because you can't empathize with a myth.
Yeah, you can. You can empathize with like Santa Claus. And how about?
Yeah, but Santa Claus is always having a good day.
But what? And there's Krampus and whatever the dude that.
Have you never empathized with someone in a movie? That's a fictional character.
Like, a lot of people watch Tom Cruise movies, and they're like, ooh, Days of Thunder. And then he's injured, and they're all emotional about it, right? Or is that a bad example?
Did he get injured in that movie?
Yeah, they had the crash, and then he was all psychologically afraid to race again.
I actually watched that movie, and I don't remember all that. I just remember all the action.
Or Nicolas Cage in Gone in 60 Seconds, when I think it was Angelina Jolie was mounting him in the stolen car or something like that.
Wait.
Oh, the only thing I remember from that movie, I remember one scene. I remember them looking at the car inside. Looking inside the car, there was this what do they call that thing on the steering wheel that locks the steering wheel?
Low jack or
whatever they call it. Yeah. So they get into the car, and within 2 seconds, that steering wheel lock gets thrown out the window, and off they go. That was funny.
I wonder if they have like a Gone in 60 Seconds fucking porn spoof where.
Wait, it doesn't last very long, or what?
or another good porn spoof movie would be The Fast and the Furious.
You know, I've never seen The Fast and the Furious, and I have no idea what it's about.
I only saw like
one,
but there's like a whole franchise. They're like fucking McDonald's now.
But like, it's the 7th movie that's coming out now. Something, it's ridiculous.
But what is the premise?
No, like Fast and Furious, like some.
Is there a premise?
Yeah, it's like it's always.
Okay, what's the plot? Tell me about the very first one.
Here's the plot. Here's the plot of all of the like.
Well, give me a plot of the very first one.
It's the same plot.
The Fists of Fury plot is some musclehead dude trying to rectify his shitbird upbringing, criminal lifestyle, is going clean, and then some other criminals kidnap his relative and tell him he has to do crimes or they're going to execute his family, and then he hulks out and starts beating the crap out of everybody, and they crash a lot of cars and people die, and that's the plot.
But not innocent people, surely. Just bad guys die, right?
Oh, of course, it's the movies.
No, I'm trying to ascertain where I
Yeah.
stand in
Well, they might,
relation.
just as a plot device, a weak, flimsy plot device, they might kill some innocent bystanders for the hell of it, just so they can say, like, these are the real bad guys.
You know, talking about killing innocent bystanders, I don't want to go on a rant here, but Saudi Arabia is bombing in Yemen, and there are civilian casualties mounting as Saudi Arabia bombs the Houthis or whatever the community is. I don't hear you screaming and shouting about the poor collateral damaged civilians.
No, that's...
Are their lives any less valuable than a Gazan or a little, collateral damaged civilian there?
They don't have money, so of course they're less valuable. No,
thank you. Thank you. I love that answer.
That's what does Denmark... What do you think about Saudi Arabia killing lots of civilians?
I'm not sure that's... Well, okay, the thing is, Saudi Arabia, the Air Force is bombing these Shia Muslim rebels in Yemen who are kind of taking over the country.
Right,
and,
but they're killing bad guys, right? Isn't that what they're telling everybody?
They are killing bad guys, but there are civilian casualties, and we know, and civilian fatalities. That is also being reported.
Exactly, like you're saying, no one's really giving a fuck. The same way, like when America sends a drone over to wipe out a wedding party.
Don't blame America for what Saudi Arabia is doing in Yemen.
No, I'm just saying it's the same thing. So it's like we don't really have in this country any moral standing to talk about other countries blowing up civilians.
No, okay, well then let me get personal. What about you?
Yeah, no, well, me as a person, I'm kind of dissatisfied with the whole blowing up of civilians. It's really not my thing.
I understand that, but when these particular Yemeni civilians are blown up, you don't, you take it as, oh well, nothing I can do about it. Well, but when the Palestinian civilians or the Gazan civilians are blown up, as happened during the, in the last summer during the war there, you weren't very happy about that, and your anger was palpable.
Yeah, because people are trying to fucking lie about it is the only problem. There's nothing I as a person can do or you as a person can do, but you gotta at least, it's like Holocaust deniers and other stuff like that. Look, if you're a total douchebag sociopath and you want to be like, you know what, I think the genocide was a great thing, I support that, that's fine. And if you get in my face, I'll knock your teeth out, and I'll support that too. But when you're being like, oh, the Holocaust never happened, Hitler never killed Jews, not at all. That's
why do you what's the right word here? Why do you point out or use the Holocaust as an example when there have been, there have been many genocides in the last 100 years? You're using just one. There's been the Armenian genocide. There's been the Rwandan genocide. There's been the Bosnian genocide. I mean, it goes on and on.
I was in the Balkans for that genocide. But you want to give a reference to everybody, the entire potential audience.
I know, but the Holocaust denial.
And
it's the only one that's been denied. I mean, nobody denies the Srebrenica. Nobody denies Armenian, except for the Turks. Nobody denies Rwanda.
It's cultural. Different cultures are going to have different denial issues.
So there is a denial issue with the Holocaust. The Armenian issues. So why is Turkey not censured by the United Nations for being a Holocaust denier.
Because they're part of the United Nations, aren't they?
That's why they can be censured. That's why they can be taken to task.
It's called
They
hypocrisy.
can be slapped on the wrist, naughty turkey.
There's no end to hypocrisy in the world.
I wanna talk about hypocrisy. I want to show it. I want to have neon light, blinking on hypocrisy. And you know what? We have a lot of content for that.
Yeah, but I want to hear what Micro has to think about the hypocrisy in national.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Unless he's fallen asleep, we're not that excited.
No, I just I didn't catch the question. What you wanted me to talk about hypocrisy in general, or?
Yes.
Well, the global hypocrisy, like certain nations deny the shit they do while complaining about it, or ignoring what other people do, and then complaining about a different nation that's doing the exact same thing and making a big deal out of it.
Well, yes, it's just as bad if not worse than when people are doing just the same. I'm not sure what else. Not much more I have to say. It's bad.
Tell me something. Am I the victim of propaganda, or am I hearing news from Scandinavia that Muslims are raping white Scandinavian women, girls? It's
propaganda.
A problem. It's propaganda. It's not a.
I'm sure it happens, but it's not like a. It's not like we have an epidemic of it or anything. No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. I always like to get my news from the source. So thank you for that.
That's what the internet's for. Right?
Our man on the street in Denmark.
I'm not sure how to take it that you want to get rape news from me, that you consider me a source for rape news.
Well, I mean, you know what's
your
happening.
job is now to research and gather news for rape stories from Denmark. You're our rape reporter.
Imagine if a TV station actually had that.
See the rape report.
Well, okay, but it's got to be. It will have been conceived on this show, the rape report.
The rape report. That sounds incredibly wrong.
Oh, that's crazy.
And we can send you on assignment throughout Europe.
Oh yes.
And Asia.
You would be in like India your rest of your life.
Yeah.
Riding the train, basically.
Oh man, India, what a fucking disaster.
Why don't they unfuck their fucking rape issue in countries like that? I mean, they're like dictatorships are fucked up in some way or another. It's not hard to make new fucking policy decisions when you don't have a democracy, right? Well, why won't they get a fucking dictator in a country that's like, you know what, I'm going to order my super spy network that I have complete 100% control of to go undercover on these trains and disappear all the rapists, right? And then it would just.
I think it's endemic in that culture.
Yeah, exactly, and that's I ask rhetorically, but like, if you were a dictator, what would you do?
I'd be raping and pillaging.
You'd be a Viking.
I'd be a Viking, yeah.
Yeah.
Most Vikings were farmers, so.
Yeah. No, the more I learn about history, the more I realize that the stereotypes that I grew up with, like the Vikings being, wild barbarian type, all that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like that. It's that way with every fucking culture that has a reputation as a military power. It's like.
I agree.
It's like, even look at
America. Except Sparta.
Right.
Hold on, there's Sparta.
Yeah, no, it's the same. Like, even here in America, we have the largest military in all of human history, literally. The most deadliest fucking military ever.
Okay, so do you think they could win a fucking war anytime soon, like, you know, for a change?
Not that you would
Jesus.
need our military for. We got shit we don't need, right? We can kill the planet like 10 times
Yeah,
over.
but win a war. If you're going to go to a war, use the stuff you got to win the war.
Well, exactly.
Don't do that.
Right. No, I'm not talking about that, though. But we have the reputation, and all throughout the rest of history, historians are going to recognize that the military situation for America was kind of unique.
But no one's scared of you anymore.
But even with all of that, yeah, right. They laugh at us, but they keep it quietly so we don't.
We are your allies, so we have nothing to fear.
Everybody's like, yeah, we'll be your ally. Please don't hurt us.
No, we got when Bush was in power, our then prime minister became quite good friends with him. Bush celebrated his birthday in Denmark at some point.
Tell me, is your prime minister an atheist in Denmark?
I don't think she is.
Who?
I don't know what her name is.
But no, I wanted to finish my point though. Like everybody's like, Vikings have the reputation for being like international rape crews or whatever. So like America has the military reputation, but I think it's like only 0.3% of the American population ever sees military service.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like less than 1% of the population ever knows what the military is.
That sounds like less than 0.5%.
Yeah, it's less than 0.5%, exactly. So that just shows.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, you know, if you go to North Korea, it's like, I don't know, 98% or whatever.
I don't really think you can count that as a proper military, considering that it's North
Okay,
Korea.
you can go to Israel and it's 100%.
100% what?
Conscription.
No, but even in places like that, Germany's the same way. It's not like 100%, but it's pretty high. It's like 60-70% probably of their population does military service. It's just really short. But in places like that, even those militaries, they don't see combat. They're not used. They're trained and they're highly skilled, but they don't go around.
Yeah, but in these days, in this day and age, an army is not just for combat. I mean, look at Pakistan. The army runs the country, and you know, to run a country and to run an infrastructure takes business-like thinking, takes technological know-how, blah blah blah. No combat.
Not necessarily. It could just be a bunch of people with bigger guns, and they're complete morons.
In Pakistan?
Yeah, I mean, let's see what
Pakistan. The military is the only institution in Pakistan that actually works.
Yeah,
the only one.
Okay, but here's the question though: when you go to buy a new car, is it the Paki 500 or are you looking at a BMW?
I have absolutely no idea. I've never been to Pakistan. I've never seen a picture of a car showroom in Pakistan.
Do you want your watch to come from Pakistan or do you want your watch to come from Switzerland?
I'm not a watch wearer.
Okay. You know what I'm saying, though.
No, I have no idea what you're saying.
Just because you're in power doesn't mean you're anything special.
Just because what?
Just because you're ruling a territory and dominating a civilization doesn't mean you have a brain. It just means you currently have the muscle.
That is exactly the same meaning that has carried throughout history up until this moment, yes.
It'll always.
Those are the muscle, those are the armies, they win.
Yeah, but guess what? It's all a matter of perception because when you get right down to it, the only thing that makes something legitimate is if the population allows it to be legitimate. And
if they have no choice.
No, that's the problem. There's always a choice. If the population so chooses, any population can overthrow its government, whatever government.
Okay, hold on a second. So for any of you in North Korea that are watching this right now,
Yeah.
or that will be watching it at a later date, please take note. If you want your government to be overthrown, we have Mr. Lou Pliskin here from United States. Hello, Lou. He says all you got to do is what, Lou?
I said the population has to pull their asses up by their bootstraps and overthrow their own evil dictators.
There you
Except
go.
half of the population is against
Overthrow
them.
Kim Jong-un. You can do it, North Korea.
And I can back this shit up with fucking historical fucking events. Let's say America, back when it was starting up, you know how many people supported the motherfucking revolution? 35%. They had less than 50% support. And they stomped the crap out of the largest imperial nation in the world at the time.
But the invasion.
With help from the French.
But the weaponry at that point wasn't as advanced as they. One person can kill a lot more people with the weapons today than you could back then.
Yeah, that doesn't even matter because their weaponry was equal. The technology levels was equal. They both, each side had their own sources. There was no like lack of fucking weapons to go around. So they had equal footing on weapons.
Which wouldn't be the case in North Korea.
Well, no, but you have, you know, millions of people with sticks and stones will take down any army. It's been done. You know, if you have 10 million people with a bucket of rocks, I don't care how many people you have in your military, you're going down. It's all a matter of the will of the people. If they have the will, they'll win. If they don't have the will, they'll fail.
So North Korea is going down no matter what?
Well, everything dies eventually.
Yeah, at some point it's going to collapse.
I want to ask you something. You know, because North Korea really only survives by virtue of the support it gets from, or she gets from China.
From China,
but being as how North Korea is a virtual nation of crimes against humanity,
right.
Isn't China kind of by association guilty of crimes against humanity?
Well, it already is.
Well, yeah, it is, and so is America, and so is every nation.
I need to bring America into it.
Every nation is. It's like you were talking about at the beginning of this show. No one's complaining about Saudi Arabia killing the people in Yemen or whatnot, but we'll complain about other people, other conflicts, right? Nobody in the world's like, hey, maybe we should go into North Korea and unfuck that place. No one's saying that.
I'm saying that. You're saying that.
I mean, a lot of people as individuals, but NATO, the UN, America, Canada, Denmark, fucking Switzerland, Germany, no civilized nation is like, you know what, maybe we should do something about Korea over there.
Because of China.
Right.
I bet you they're all saying it. But China says, no, you know, stay away. You know, we have it under control, whatever.
No, but they could be persuaded. That's what diplomatic fucking relationships is all about.
Yeah.
That's why. Why do you think China keeps North Korea the way it is? The reason,
I don't know. You tell me.
The reason China doesn't go in there and unfuck it because they can anytime they want to. It's like their neighbor.
Right.
Because it's a political bargaining chip in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're, you know, sooner or later, China's going to want
in the world.
Right. It's a tit for tat world when you're global politics. So sooner or later, somebody's going to want something, or China's going to want something from somebody, and they're not going to want to bargain. They'll be like, well, we can work with Korea for you. You know.
Should we let China keep that bargaining chip in exchange for actually doing something about the climate?
Right. Well, those are totally different things. You got to be able to do, you know, walk and chew gum at the same time in politics.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to work on multiple problems at the same time, basically. So it's not an either or what should be dealt with. You have to have a list of issues and be like, this is our priority, and here's our stance on each and every one of those. You know, and that's what a platform is, anyways. But I just wish America had more than two of them.
Two of what?
Political parties.
Yeah.
Only two of them are in any real power.
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's why I like parliamentary systems better, from what I see, because they distribute the power better.
Well, the parliamentary system is where laws are made. So the government in power introduces laws and argues and argues and argues this, that, and the other. They vote. There's a vote. If the vote is passed, if the law is, I think there's a number of readings, like 3 readings or whatever. If it makes it through the 3 readings, then it goes up to what's called the Senate, which is a whole bunch of old geezers who.
Well, that if you have more than one chamber, that
Right.
is.
Yeah, we have multiple chambers, but still.
Yeah, we only have one.
You only have.
But
one.
that Senate is more or less they do have the prerogative to veto, but they never do. You know, that type of thing.
And then you always have, like, what is it, a prime minister that can veto?
No.
Don't you? You don't have a higher veto authority?
No.
We don't.
You know?
It's by representation.
So it's either it's an up or down vote on shit.
Yeah.
See, that
I think.
But they can. But there's yeah, it's up or down. But it's not just up. I mean, it's just not. Let's say it's up. It's done. It's done. There's first reading, and then there's amendments, second reading of amendments, and then
Right. It's a one-way process.
Right.
That would scare the piss out of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've seen the crazy fucking laws we try to pass here,
mm-hmm.
We got in California the Kill the Gay bill going through right now.
Yeah.
So we want a little bit of judicial fucking restraint and review on some stuff,
You know what I think? I think now would be a really, really good time for me to tell you guys that you're watching Reason Speak on SecularTv and listening to what Lou is saying. It's just prompting me to plug the SecularTv TV network a little bit. The goal of SecularTv is to help promote unique and interesting content while focusing on a variety of diverse ideas that appeal to various groups in the secular community. So if you're watching a show like this and you're enjoying it, please support us. Tell your friends. If you look on our YouTube page, SecularTv, you'll find under the show the links for being a patron at Patreon or purchasing some merchandise, and we thank you for your support in advance. That was great, Lou. Thanks for allowing me that little segue to plug the network.
Yeah.
So I decided to look it up. Not even our queen can veto, has a right to veto. Not even theoretically.
Well, no, that you shouldn't have that, of course, because it's not an elected person.
Well, she might have had. There is a possibility that she might have had it, like, have a theoretical ability to veto, but she doesn't even have that. At this point, she's nothing more than a what the fuck is that called? She doesn't have any real power. Figurehead. She doesn't have any real power.
Right. And that's there. And in some nations, still, their figureheads from antiquity still have theoretical legal.
Well, we have a figurehead here above, called I think it's called the Governor General, who's a representative of the Queen.
Don't you have theoretically the actual Queen?
No, we have
the actual Queen. No, the Queen of England. We have a Queen too. She's also an actual Queen.
Well, Canada borrows England's Queen.
Yeah. I know. Canada uses the Queen as, like we're part of the Commonwealth. But as far as the Queen being, involved in Canadian anything, nothing. The Queen has nothing to do. She has a representative called the Governor General, who's really just picked by who's a Canadian person, just picked by our Parliament or somebody. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's quasi-democratic then.
Yeah, and it lasts for only a couple of years.
Right, it's an
changes quite often.
extension of a democratic process. It's the same way we have bureaucracies like
Right.
EPA and the FDA and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way it is. It's called Canada.
Yeah, but we have this old-ass fucking government down south here that's just antiquated and clunky and rusty and falling apart. And
I noticed that you haven't put up your USA flag. Like I'm a proud Canadian, I put up my Canadian flag in there.
oh, fuck a flag. I don't give a fuck about a flag. I hate flags. It's not showing today, is it? I don't think it. I can't see it.
Oh,
No, we can't see your flag.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I can see it in the chat. Damn. Okay, tell me when you can see it then.
Yeah, we got like 10 people here.
Alright, tell me when you can see my flag.
I think they're playing poker, and I don't know.
There it is.
Talking
Oh,
about.
there? You see the whole thing?
No, a little bit down. There, yeah.
Here, we got it. There it is.
Yay.
There's your little fucking maple tree.
Maple, it's a maple leaf. Don't be disrespectful.
It's not the tree.
Maple shrub.
And every time you say the word maple, you have to stand.
No, I don't.
That must be really annoying for the botanist in Canada. Every time they say maple, they have to stand up.
That would be hilarious. I got in trouble in the Army for not standing up, so when I got out of the Army, I was like, fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck about your customs and courtesies. I ain't standing for a goddamn thing.
What didn't you stand up for?
Oh, I just get in trouble because I'd be like working and a senior fucking NCO would start talking to me, and if you're being talked to by a fucking NCO, you're supposed to stand up and show respect and blah, 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 and fuck off. And that's my feelings about it all.
Okay,
right.
So what would happen? So they'd start talking to you,
and I'd be like, yeah, what's up? And then later on, they're like fucking with my life and shit, and I'm like, fuck all of you. You know?
I'm doing something here.
So why do you join the Army if you're such a nonconformist?
Because this is fucking America. I was born in a goddamn ghetto, the fucking trailer park, and I didn't want to live in the fucking trailer park. And I got in too much trouble in school and dropped out because I got kicked out a lot. So I ended up doing all the construction and factory work, and I was like, fuck this shit, right? I wanted more money. So I joined the Army because it pays more money compared to what your average person in the ghetto makes. And that's how they keep people in the Army, by keeping a large enough poor people in America. So America exploits.
What do you explain that?
America exploits its poor population to keep their military numbers up, to keep recruitments up.
In other words, they employ. There are poor people in the Army making up administration, and they pay them poorly. Is that what you mean?
No. The military pays comparatively well compared to civilian jobs of the same of entry-level jobs, right?
Right.
But they exploit this fact by making sure the people that are in poor areas stay poor by not giving civilians opportunities to get good jobs. So if you're poor and you're born poor in America and you want to get ahead, you either got to be a really smart motherfucker, get lucky, or sell out and join the fucking military so you can go to school and get a job skill training.
Yeah, but why is that selling out? Why isn't that just... That's what you do.
You shouldn't have to risk your fucking life for an education, is why.
Tit for tat.
You should not have to do something against your principles just to survive. So America is a dishonest, immoral operator.
You're not obligated to live in America, are you?
And to move to a different place, okay. American education system sucks balls, so most Americans only speak English. I'm one of them. Most other people in the world grow up bilingual at a minimum.
Yep.